Hello everybody, this is episode 3 of my playthrough of the Lies of P DLC Overture. And in this episode, we will be going into a new area that is circus themed. In the last episode, we defeated the second boss of the game. Her name is Marchiona. It was a very cool boss. We also discovered that Marchiona had possibly been the one that killed Carlo originally, the original body of Carlo. So I felt like it was a really cool, neat battle for that reason as well. I thought it was good to get our revenge. Now, we're going to use the key that we got off Marchiona to open the path to the new area, and quickly after touching down on the stargazer, we're gonna venture in. There will be a brief cutscene right ahead. Let's watch it.
Kill him. Can't be. Are all those humans? Just how evil does someone have to be to do something like this?
Now we know right away that we're after the steps of Leia Monad, that's the M on the pin. And she herself is after the steps of her protege, one of her proteges, which is no one other than Romeo, our best friend. She has mentioned that she lost a protege already, so this is sometime after Carlo dies, but before she disappears and Romeo becomes the king of puppets. We find in the floor a new outfit, the reddened tailcoat, a fancy tailcoat suited for a cheerful person. It was not originally stained red. Though not connected by blood, the boy regarded his master as friend and family. Tragically, that kind-hearted affection sparked a cruel curiosity in someone else. Now, the mention of this cruel curiosity and when she says, who could have such cruelty, when Jiminy as well mentions, like, are all of those humans, should spark briefly an idea of who we're chasing here. We also get a blood-stained locket that says, a locket containing a photo of 3 people, their faces are stained with blood. A locket that holds a cherished memory. Even the most horrific ill intentions and bloody pain could not completely erase that memory. Obviously, Carlos' face is erased in the picture, so we cannot see ourselves clearly. We see Leia more or less, we see Romeo more or less, and we see ourselves more or less, but not quite the full painting. And when asking ourselves who could do this, there is obviously right away someone that we know does this kind of things, who is a self-confessed hater of mankind, who would be capable of doing this, and that's Arlecchino, the clown who was the first murderer, the one that killed Venini's family, the Joker equivalent in the base game. It's interesting because little by little we're forming an idea of exactly why we're here in the past and what we're going to do, and all the right people are gonna be getting an extra background, which I really appreciated. I thought it made the game whole, and I thought it was very purposeful as well in comparison to the original game. Now here we're gonna be meeting a new friend, a new character, Rosara, and it's important to help her because she has a quest that rewards us with something that is trophy related.
Hello.
Let's hear her out.
Rosara wants to be your friend. Will you be my friend? Hello. Rosara wants to be your friend. Will you be my friend? Rosara wants to be free. But I need my shoes to do that. Please, please help me travel the world. Help me to hold your hand and dance. I will wait for you here. Rosara was locked in a birdcage. I don't know how long I was there. A white butterfly woke me up and freed me. And I followed the white butterfly all the way here. But I lost my shoes while I was running. I don't know where they came off. I have a precious friend. I miss that friend dearly. We played all the time at the Rose Estate. Our hearts were filled with joy. Rosara wants to see her friend again. That's why I have to go back there. I want to go back to the Rose Estate, but to do that, Rosara needs her shoes. Please, please help Rosara travel the world. Help me to hold your hand and dance. I will wait for you here. I need my shoes to be free.
For now, what we have to do is, if we see her shoes, give her her shoes. Also, if you've seen the previous episode and you remember, I mentioned a red ribbon in the cage that was in Marchione's room. That has to do with her as well. Now moving on, we will be entering the Carnival. It is a fun little area, in my opinion. Has an interesting mechanic of trading coins to sort of play games within the circus.
Carnival Garden. The tram station's that way. I think it's our best chance of getting out of here.
The clown knockdown to your right. We get a little present from that. And it says, step right up and throw what you got. Knock down the clowns and claim the prize. If you explore a little bit more, you find a new, I think new, type of enemy around here with a broom. There is also a new secret. A black rabbit Brotherhood door. Make sure to remember that, as we will be coming later to it. It is not related to any trophy, but if you're a collector or if you like little secrets, you will see that there is outfits in these doors. There is 4 of them around the world, and you get around to the keys pretty much in a linear way, I would say. Moving ahead, we have the butterfly. If I catch it, there's a lot of whiffing for it. But when it goes down, it gives you a Legion caliber. Make sure not to die to the sweeper person. And this is a circular area with a mini boss. Is that a mini boss? With a big tanky guy over here. I obviously noped out of it and tried to clear the other enemies first. This big enemy with the block on its back reminded me of a blasphemous enemy. I don't know if you guys have played that game, but there is a tomb carrier who is doing penitence as well, penitence of a different kind than the main character. The main character's penitence is to not talk and carry a hat full of spikes. But there is this type of enemy that is also a penitent that carries a big block just like this guy. I like the theme of that character. Here ahead we pick up a change to reconnaissance order. Intel received regarding an ambush by the Legendary Stalker. Priority change. Temporarily suspend the search for Lady Marchiona's small puppet. Prepare for the Legendary Stalker attack. This clarifies a previous note that I was confused about when they were saying if you see a puppet alone, go ahead and kill it. Now that means that Rosara escaped and they were trying to kill Rosara, and these orders are changing it to just be about the Legendary Stalker. That's very interesting. I didn't tie those two together the first time playing around. If you go to the right, you see cute little guys dancing around. They don't seem to pay you mind. However, if they notice you, they've become very dangerous. Their pointy hats are surely damaging. Oh, here's a Carnival coin. These are the ones that you use to play the games around the Carnival. Make sure as you collect them to also check out the games so you can obtain extra things. There's one that's necessary, but other than that, you know, it gives you good items. I know an interesting thing about these guys, which is later on you get a gesture about tap dancing, and if you dance the dance in front of these dolls, they won't attack you. They recognize you as one of their own. It is very cute. The game is full of little details like that. Very much appreciate, like the play dead, the little dance. We have a Carnival prize announcement. Welcome to the Carnival. You are invited to the Prize Puppet special stage. Demonstrate your dance moves and showcase your talent. A special prize awaits. But wait, there is more. Insert a Carnival coin for a surprise gift. Find the Prize Puppet now. It's sort of telling you what I was explaining before about the Carnival. Here, if you insert your coin, you will receive a new gesture, the tap dance. And that's the gesture that you can use on the little puppet enemies to be their friends and not be attacked. It's quite cute, obviously. The minute you stop dancing, they go back to hating you. As long as they haven't initiated an attack, if you tap dance, they let you be. If they initiate an attack, you're kind of screwed.
Oh, now that's what I call a dance number. Come on, let's see your best moves.
This is important for trophies though, as part, not only cute, but also important for trophies, as part of collecting all gestures in the DLC, so you'll have to come here and pick it up. We have a shot put at the end of the road. Great item, absolutely recommend it. It breaks posture really quickly, and maybe even a suggestion to use on the enemies here from the game, telling you, hey, this could be good to break their posture. Unfortunately, I'm not one to listen, and I didn't use it. That being said, it's time to have our match. You find a Carnival coin near him. Maybe you can be sneaky enough and get away without killing him. I like to kill them at least once, just to know if they drop something, right? It hits like a mother though. This thing that he throws, a wardrobe or box or whatever, eventually does break. So his moves change quite a bit after that. I don't know if he gets a chance to break them for me, but of course if I keep whipping that much, he probably will have a chance to break them. Avoid the punches, don't die like I did, and roll away in panic. If you hit the box itself, it will bounce back, so always make sure that he has lifted it up, or maybe turn around his back before you hit him. I seized that critical, and that was the attack where it broke, exactly. It looked like ice once it was broken, but he was weak after that, so not much to say for him. Now he's dead. Going back to where we came from, now we have fully explored the icy area at the bottom of the carnival. If we go back to the middle area where we came from, there is a mini boss that completely disappears once you beat him in that area, and that should be the guy that we're doing next. We've seen a similar boss before, one of those guys with the plunger on its head. He's not too hard, but at a certain point in the game, everything is hitting really tough. Obviously, since I have a level, best idea is to get it leveled before I die over on him, potentially. He's wielding a balloon kind of weapon. I'm using fire on him, not the best thing. I believe electric is the best thing to use on him, but it will do the trick for this try, I guess. I get a stagger out of it, avoid quite a bit. I do my special, but I also get smacked into smithereens as a 1-2. The best thing about it is that you can just go back, right back in, just like a boss, so you're not losing a whole lot of path to get to it. If you're having trouble with it, this part is important, changing to electrical. I believe puppets are very weak to electrical, and makes sense to use it on him. He's certainly a puppet. I'm going back for my seconds, and I'm well equipped now. Let's see how I fare. I wasn't doing too bad last time, except that I got hit and died. I didn't find these guy to be bad in the main game. He's the one that transforms at a certain point as well, right? Well, maybe if I avoid the red attack. Like I mentioned in a different episode, I did not remember at this point that you could parry red attacks. It was a revelation to me later on. There's a specific boss that reminded me that red attacks were actually parryable. I thought it was like Sekiro for some reason. This guy is dead now. He gives you another Carnival coin. If you want to play all the games, you have to kill him. Now we have to the right side, the Clown's Circus. This kind of sucks here. There is a kerfuffle of bad enemies. Yep, immediately. Didn't even get to see who all was there, right? Anyway, they all kind of get you one way or the other. I've died 3 times and I've edited them all out because they're stupid, and this part is a gank. If you're here and you know you're getting a new one sewed in, just get lucky. I don't know what to tell you. Roll your way. One enemy at a time. He cannot get you in this little corner, so that was one of my strategies. Hiding. Works like a charm. Unless... Now, once that's done, he's more manageable. It's just him over there, spinny to Winnie. Unless... Yeah, he's still spinny to Winnie. There is a parry mechanic. You wouldn't know by the way I play, but you can technically parry the bombs, I think. Alas, I have cleared the area, triumphant. I claim my kingdom. And look at me. What did it earn me? Nothing. A bucket of nothing. We have to go into this. I didn't understand how to open it, but the right way, as you can see now, is to investigate the guy, give them a Carnival coin, and go in to do your thing. Inside this part you have an annoying little game where you press a button to have clowns pop up, and you have to do 12 clowns before the time runs out. You have to explode them. The bomb ones do not count. My weapon was not being very good for this. It took me an embarrassing amount of time. I don't even know how much time. I'm obviously going to skip ahead and show you my strategy, but it was a very long time. It was just not working. I tried different things until I landed on rolling. That was my winning strategy. Rolling and rolling and rolling. And eventually that did it. Rolling into the clown explodes it. So after a couple of those tries with the clown, I felt a little vindication that I have found the right way. I rolled and rolled to the one that I could see. I tried not to roll to any that had already come out too long ago. I tried not to get too greedy, and that's sort of what did it. I hate that I have to tell you a strategy for this. Maybe you found this to be easy, but yeah, I was in pain. I also used the string for a certain time, thinking maybe with the string it would be faster. It wasn't faster than rolling. What you get for all your trouble, ladies and gents, is the Maniac's pinwheel blade and the Maniac's pinwheel handle. Now, that's a treat. That's a cool weapon. Hell yeah. Let's see what it says. The blade of a large weapon that is stained red with blood, the razor-sharp steel veins funnel the wind, spinning with lethal fury. For other stalkers, the colorful steel blades of this spinning pinwheel became an object of terror, and the maniac would not end his bloodbath until every blade was stained red. And now the handle says, the handle of a large weapon that resembles a child toy pinwheel. The adorable pinwheel attached to it cannot hide its blood-stained cruelty. It said the stalker known as the maniac never grew up, his mind frozen in a state of perpetual childhood. The dark crimson colors of the pin handle were the only links between his past self and present mind. I think this is clearly referencing the guy we're after, the guy Leia is after, I guess. It is interesting. I thought, man, they're sure putting a lot of pizza cutters in the game now. They might be overcompensating. But no, it's all tying back to Arlecchino. Moving ahead to the next area in the carnival, we have tons of sweepers. Somehow, we have another bomber guy. He could have stayed in the last area. Why does it always have to be? Obviously, there is a time to die. It's gonna be here. But, you know, I'm trying my best, and he is down. The worst has passed, except that now I'm whiffing, like I have nothing better to do with my life. Very greedy, very triumphant. I get away with it. It happens. Sometimes for me, sometimes for you. I'm deciding to explore the right side briefly for a final sweeper. And checking out what's on a bench, a little loot before going up the Ferris wheel. Now to go up the Ferris wheel, you have to be patient and wait your time. There will be one that becomes open. You don't have to pay for anything, as you can see. Well, be patient, okay? That was the key message. Don't be like me. Otherwise, those little guys will chase you. Anyway, like I was saying, be patient, wait for an open Ferris wheel, and go all the way to the top. Once at the top, you'll have to do a drop. You'll see when you're ready to do it. Also, you can admire the view. I think Jiminy will comment something on it.
Even this place was prettier and happier back in the day.
Admire the view, and then you can look down after his comment and you'll see a walkway where you are supposed to fall. You don't have to take a huge leap, it'll be okay. There is a couple of clowns up here of like the short floor type. They can be quite obnoxious, and paired up with the little guys, it gets a little tricky, especially if one surprises you from the back like it did to me. The thing is that they're hanging from the sides of the bridge walkway thing, the wooden walkway. And as soon as you get there, they ambush you. And they sure got their bread out of me. I'm just gonna run up to it again and do my best. It would be a fun walk up if you didn't have to fight this guy twice. I think, you know, I'm testing my luck here. I got lucky once, I ain't gonna get lucky twice, right? It's like 5 enemies and they're all on me. Big guy is down, but will the sweepers go down too? Obviously whiffing. It's a bit of a mess still, isn't it? It seems like I have successfully gotten away with being the little stinker that I am, and I managed to collect some items in this area as well. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. We're going up the Ferris wheel again, taking the view in again, and trying to kill the clowns again. Let's see if it works this time. This part made me think of when you are at the tram station in the base game, that you have to kind of go into one as well, and then ahead there is a tram station, so there is kind of a parallel. I think some of this is like how it looked in the past. It's the same areas but in the past. I think so. I don't know, there are too many coincidences. Okay, where are these little stinkers that are hanging from the side? I see the green one. I'm trying to bait him, but instead get fucked. Go down there. And now with only 3, surely I will do much better. Yeah. Take that. Except nothing. Except I won and I got back my ergo. Let's go. We have a dead guy at the end with a zoo tram station key. This is the important item to proceed to the next area. It says a key found in the Carnival garden. It unlocks the entrance to the zoo tram station. There was only one way to escape the monsters and reach downtown. Unfortunately, the staff member could not avoid his fate and breathed his last. Obviously, this is one of the items that we were looking for here, but there's a couple of other things as well. To exit this area, we jump into the carousel kind of tent from the roof, and we're back in a new area. The horses, as you can see, they hit you and they make a squelching sound of death, but they don't take health away from you. They're just silly. Now, who does take health away from you is this mother fluffer over here. Oh my god. Get a grip. It's annoying, but he's dead. We have a box over there that contains something that we cannot look at because there is another guy dropping bombs and trying to destroy my life. I'm chugging my health more than for a boss. Alas, one more horse. Wait, alas. I'm opening the box. What do we get? The rose shoes, the other important item from this area. A lovely pair of crimson shoes adorned with roses. They are perfectly sized for a small doll. It does not remember opening its eyes or why. Perhaps this life was a dream wished into existence by another. Once awake though, may it travel the world and live life to the fullest. There is a couple of keywords in these shoes that might hint as to why does this character exist, Rosaura, and once we have her story complete, it will make sense why it was wished into existence. Of course, we know the fairy from the base game, Sophia, is the one, you know, who got her wishes granted by the gods of this world, I guess. We get another Carnival coin from this corner. We can also go back and give Rosara her shoes. Let's check everything else around here. Here's how you progress to the areas ahead. There's a merchant down there who will also be important to talk to. But first I want to take a look to the other side that I didn't explore. Grab my little item. Sawtooth wheel. From the carnival doors. Take a look at this empty corner. Suspiciously empty. They don't usually put things like that. And then we can turn around and go back to the beginning where we can give Rosara her shoes.
I need my shoes to be free. I will wait for you here. Oh, you found my shoes! Thank you! Rosara is so happy. Now I can run! I can dance! I can go anywhere! I can go back to the Rose Estate! You gave me back my freedom. So here's a present. For you. It's called Rosara's Treasure. No matter where I end up, I'll remember you. The friend who helped free Rosara. I'll go to the Rose Estate now. With each step the shoes and I take, I'll think of you. My new friend.
Rosara gives us her treasure, which is a piece of a drawing. We're collecting various drawings, and important, and this is why we're doing the quest, she gives us a song. It says, Lizram, since you took my hand and my time began, I'll fly high and free in the world you gave me. The joy of yearning for someone and embarking upon a journey after escaping the birdcage. Lizram, the song to sing when dancing at the world's end. It's part of her story, obviously. We're going to go right away to listen to it and enjoy it. Listening to the songs is part of the trophy. To collect all records, you cannot simply collect them, you also have to listen to them. So let's enjoy the beautiful music crafted for this game. One of the most interesting things, one of the most fun collectibles in my opinion that I've gotten the pleasure to trophy hunt around for. I really enjoy them and I hope you enjoy them as well. After the song is over, you'll feel warmth, which if you haven't finished the main game, might be important for your trophies there. Then we can proceed back to where we were in the Carnival Garden. We have one little area to check behind the Ferris wheel.
No matter where I end up, I'll remember you. I'll go to the Rose Estate now.
And we have a couple other places to put our coins in as well. So let's go do that. Let's finish the exploring and see what else the circus has to offer. We still have to talk to the merchant, who is also important for trophy reasons, similar trophy reasons. A curious thing about that merchant is that if you talk to him wearing a crown that you find later on, I'll let you know when we find the crown, which crown it is, he will have extra dialogue and he will mention, you know, how interesting it is that you're wearing, how funny and cool you are for wearing the crown. I got the 1-2. I got the sweep. The mortal sweep to my back. But, you know, just a brief setback before I enact my revenge on these little stinkers. Let's do it with some patience this time around, eh? Every time I'm going fast, I remember the saying in Spanish, "Vístame despacio que voy deprisa." It's like, do things carefully that I'm in a hurry, kind of saying. Because you don't want to have to do them twice, and that's precisely what happens to me when I am in a hurry. As you can see, I start flailing and flobbing like a little goon. Here we go again. Okay, I think this time is the actual time that I do not die anymore there, because I am a learning person and a careful person and a person who learns from her mistake. Copium. This was a fun area regardless. I don't think the sweepers are that bad to defeat. I kind of just got bypassed them and came back with a string to just get him in one hit. That was a good strat. I was tired of him. A backstab on this enemy was not possible to me. But it's just 2 sweepers, right? How hard can it be? I say as I am cowardly turning around because I'm so scared of them. Healing right away because I want to run no risks. And now everyone is officially dead. Never mind, there is one more. And now everyone is officially dead. We have not been to this little house on the right side yet. We will be coming in a moment. First, I want to check the back of the Ferris wheel, because that is a dead end, but it also has a little trinket, and I like little trinkets. We have to kill 2 little conehead clowns and steal their treasure. And their treasure was a resplendent ergo chunk. Behind these little boxes, we have a winter sleep amulet +1. This is a protection from freeze, just a little more than the previous one that I had already read. You know, if you were suffering from freeze, now you'll be suffering from success. Over here, back around the carousel, if you go down the path and to the left, you'll get a sharp pipe. It is not a trap, even though it looks it. And then you can talk to the merchant. This merchant is important. I would say most merchants in the game are important. They all have golden records in New Game Plus. And they're the whole reason why we're doing this in New Game Plus.
Play acting the hero who saves the world, huh? Meanwhile, I have chosen instead to simply look upon this ruined world from this grand little vantage point. Really add some zest and extravagance to my tea time. But this situation really hasn't helped the costs of my already expensive hobby. So, a transaction is always welcome.
Make sure you purchase your 9,000 ergo record for that pretty penny. But also, he sells a Black Rabbit Brotherhood key, which you need for that other door that we saw earlier that I mentioned it was a little secret. Here the record says, "The clear blue sky. Open your eyes and look at the clear blue sky. Feel the night, which will end someday. Only time will tell. The clear blue sky, a song of how the landscape seen when the veil of time is lifted may sometimes be the most beautiful thing." This is a reference, a beautiful reference to something in the game, connected in the game. At some point, we collect a painting that is already present in the future in our playthrough. It is incredibly cool, in my opinion, and one of the things that makes the game feel so well tied together. And yeah, we certainly dust time off the painting to reveal its beauty. It's one of the secrets in the game. I'll mention it in the last episode where we cover some of these secrets. We get a Carnival prize announcement outside of this tent. "Welcome to the Carnival. You are invited to the Prize Puppet Special Stay. Demonstrate your dance move and showcase your talent. A special prize awaits. But wait, there is more. Insert a Carnival coin for a surprise gift. Find the prize puppet now." We obtain the gesture tap dance, and that is required here for obtaining the prize. Get your best move on. I actually did not remember very well how to put gestures on. Luckily, I found it and I put it in the wrong place because I had no idea how to access that. I changed it from that place and I put it in a place that I could access because I'm a dummy. Don't do it like me, just press the right button, you know. I was actually already using the button that I thought it was meant to be. Anyway, this is not part of the platinum to be lost in the game. The collecting the gesture is part of the trophy. Once you figure it out, do your little diddle. Ta-da! And it will give you another gesture, cheer, which one gesture got you another gesture, and said gesture got you the strategist amulet. The gesture is necessary for the platinum, so make sure you get this. You have all the ingredients necessary by getting the previous gesture. Let's take a look at our ring and our new gesture. Cheer. Perform the cheer gesture. Every accomplishment, large or small, deserves a full-throated cheer. If they aren't celebrated, the accomplishments might as well not have been achieved at all. And our ring that said Strategist Amulet increases weapon attribute damage buildup. an amulet that can be equipped on a puppet. With unpredictable attacks, the enemies is slowly driven towards death. By the time the enemy realizes they're in a perfectly laid trap, it's already too late. Seems like a good amulet if you can afford it to, equip it, if you have slots necessary. And here's the button unlocking the shortcut we saw earlier in the episode. Back to the beginning, right back to where we got that gesture originally. This is the same announcement we had before. Once we're back on the main road, make sure you don't get ambushed by these little guys. By either using the dance or running away very fast, or killing them before they kill you. Except on my last hit, I hit the iron. Anyway, we're circling back to finish off anything else we might have here in the circus. There's a couple of other places and prices that we could get here. First of all is one that we saw earlier. The Clown Circus. This is sort of like a mini boss, I would say. Yeah. Not a very fun one. The arena itself, it's prone to have those corners that get you stuck. I hated that about it. I was not a huge fan of rolling in this arena. I'll put you my first attempt and a compilation of deaths along the way, because I did die quite a bit here. He wasn't the hardest thing, but he was pretty annoying. He has fire, he's a puppet. Using your string with electric will do you good. Trying to parry will do you good. And obviously the string as well is not a bad attack. Landing your special is not a bad attack. Avoiding getting burnt or overheat is not a bad idea either. Just, don't get trapped in a corner and die like I did. Perform better. Now, here's all the deaths I suffered. And I died 7 more times. This is officially close to elephant levels. But I got it, and here's the winning attempt. First of all, you have to trigger him, get a couple of hits while he's prancing, and immediately get away. He does a really long fire attack. You can safely escape that. Try to hit instead of whiff, your special and your thread. Parry this throw that he does with both arms. Get close again. Give him another whack. With a procced electrical weapon, it's also doing damage already. Those blue numbers. Make sure you're close enough to use the thread. It's not an infinite thread, so you don't want to waste that. Try not to get overheated if you can. Avoid it. It seems like I could not avoid it. But manage your health if you do get overheated. It takes the most damage to be overheated, I think, out of all the stats. Make sure it doesn't go down too quickly. Keep parrying those things that he throws and go in sort of when he gives you an opportunity like that. I should have parried that smash, and I think you should as well. When he's done doing his goofery, get close to him again. And for the love of God, die already. It's taking so long because I'm being such a coward. He's like, wah, 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 wah. He really winds up that arm attack. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Ka-choop. This try took me like half an hour, eh? Okay, well. You know what? I won in the end, right? So I can't complain. It's now watching it back, it's a pain. I feel like I could have done so much better. Just had a lot of trouble getting in and knowing when to get in. When you get that special, vulnerable attack, just you won. You get a really big ergo crystal out of that. And there is also an area inside where he came from where you can pick up a Workshop Union auto-adapted converter, which is a defensive part that you can equip on yourself. I am not going to lie, I did not equip anything in the DLC. It was probably for the best. Right at the end on the final boss, as I mentioned, I like to do a review of everything I have and go in with my best equipment that I can afford and whatnot, and maybe at that moment I equipped it, but in this meantime I did not do anything. I came back to check behind the wheel to see if I had gotten everything I needed. There wasn't anything else to get, so I moved along. Anyway, I moved along and I died. Not a big deal. All we have to do is run back down to the merchant. So let's go back in, pick those souls, and be a good speedrunner strategist. Just bypassing everyone we have already killed. I was checking if that guy had another place where I could use my prize coin. I did not want to miss any secrets over here, and I believe I didn't. Let me know in the comments if you think I did. I would love to know extra things I didn't see in my playthrough. I love finding new things and secret things, and oh yeah, that's my jam. Anyway, what I was trying to do is get back down to the merchant, and that's what I did.
Always happy to make a transaction, whatever the...
I got the key, the Black Rabbit Brotherhood key, out of him because I wanted to go to the room. I also checked the survival amulet that was about being locked on a target
That is a key, yes. A key to one of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood's hideouts. I assume a member of the Brotherhood dropped it somewhere. But only a fool or a lunatic would loiter around one of their hideouts. So, no. It isn't selling all that well, actually.
And back I went on my mission. The merchant sort of explains to you what the key does. One member of the Brotherhood was prone to losing his key, so they made a whole pile of them. Doesn't seem like a very secure thing. Who do you think was the one losing the key the most? I think canonically they tell you who it was, because you get to his room and his outfit is in there. But, you know, could be a misunderstanding as well. Now I inserted the coin on this final ride because we did the gesture but didn't insert the coin, and you get a full moonstone of the Covenant for putting your coin in there. I believe that is all for this area for the time being. A short area, but it was packed with things that are important for trophies. 2 records, 2 enemies chasing me back to the Stargazer, 2 grams of patience left in my body, 2 whips of my weapon, too little, too much. All done now. So we can return back to the swamp. This is not necessary for the DLC playthrough, but I like this guy and I like to teach him my gestures. So I wanted to tell him about, you know, my cheer. That's a good gesture. I also love when he says, "Hello, my only friend," because I relate to that.
Hello, my only friend. It feels good. Like being
I don't
hugged by
know
the sun.
who taught these puppets simile, but being hugged by the sun, it's probably not good. You get hugged by the sun, I'm pretty sure you die from that. The only thing left that we have to do in the Carnival Garden is to enter the Black Rabbit Brotherhood door that we saw earlier. There wasn't a main boss per se in this area, it was just that mini guy that killed me 7 times.
That missing persons poster. You saw it too, right? The name reads Romeo. Romeo, the legendary stalker's apprentice. Since we're back in the past, there's a chance we might run into him. So let's stay strong and carry on.
There you get a missing poster. It says missing Romeo. Looking for the stalker Romeo. Contact lost while investigating the zoo. Last seen wearing a black stalker uniform and a ring engraved with the letter R on his right hand. Any individual with pertinent information or related clues that might lead to the current location of this individual, please come to the hotel in downtown Krat. Ask for Stalker Leia when you arrive. A sizable reward is being offered for any relevant and legitimate information, of course. Now we know for sure Romeo is the person that Leia is searching for, but there's new information as well. Hotel Krat is being mentioned. There is a chance that we go to the hotel in the past as well, and that is a beautiful treat in my opinion of this DLC. Lots of secrets there, lots of things to admire. This small new area of the tram has a character at the end of it, a blind painter that I was mentioning earlier. If we do her quest, we get a beautiful little Easter egg in the future that I personally loved.
You there. I hear you. Can you help an old blind lady? This easel before me. It's not supposed to be empty, is it? Do you see a painting on the ground? It's mine. Pick it up and give it to me. Quickly.
She wants us to help her with this canvas. Now, here you get an option to
Even
tell
though
the
I
truth
can't
or lie.
see,
It's a bit of a
I
silly
can tell
one.
from the feel of the canvas. Oh, thank the heavens. This is my painting. It is very precious to me. Since losing my sight, this piece has given me courage. I'm sure you would love to hear my story. Once, I was a high-ranking alchemist, with a dream and a purpose. I dedicated my life to the cause of human evolution. Unfortunately, I suffered an accident in the laboratory. The incident damaged my eyes. I could no longer work. But the accident turned out to be a blessing. Stumbling in the dark, I found a painting that revealed the path of truth through art. What do you think? What do you see when you look at my painting?
I went ahead and lied here and I said incredible.
You have a good eye. This painting inspired me greatly. I lost my sight, but I see the path I must walk. You know, the world is a dark, cold, and isolating place. However, I am attuned. I tread the path. I will find the light, the brilliance that illuminates art.
To continue on her quest.
I tread the path. I will find the light.
At the end of it, you feel warmed for telling a lie, as always. And afterwards, we can teleport back to the carnival and finally find that door that was right at the beginning and I had forgotten about. You use the black rabbit hole key, you enter again. It's not necessary for any trophies, this is just bonus outfit, but I thought it was an interesting secret and I wanted to collect them all. You get the Eccentric's mask and the Piercing Death's hunting apparel. If you try them both on, you get a note out of that. So let's do all that. The hunting garb worn by the eccentric of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood. He ensured his siblings never envied the workshop's latest weapons and equipment. No, brother, get the parts first. We can use whatever makes us weapons. the battle maniac said that. And then the hat says, the mask worn by the eccentric of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood. This is the odd headgear of an eccentric inventor who can stop tinkering on ingenious but devilish weapons. Big brother, can you please shut him up? The youngest. Now this boss was one of my least favorite battles in base game. It was a very cool battle, in my opinion, lore-wise, but actually fighting it sucked very much. You get another key for it, same as before, and a note that says the Brotherhood's notes, a note that clearly bears 3 different styles of handwriting. So the other 3 were leaving notes to this one brother. Stop losing your key and stop picking the lock. I'm going to be very irritated if I find broken locks everywhere. The key is in your pocket, right where I put it. So will you stop losing it? I'll kill you if you lose it. If you lose this one as well, or at least start deducting the cost from your allowance. Big brother, I found 3 of your keys in my room. Take them. Wait, why were your keys in my room anyway, you idiot? Obviously now, I think this implies that the eccentric is the one that was losing all the keys, if you ask me. But they open all of the Brotherhood things, and there is an outfit in each one. So does that mean that the outfit that is there is necessarily the one that belongs to them? That's what I am assuming. Anyways, continuing back to where we left it, I'm gonna do the trek to the tram station once again to proceed forward. I thought it was a nice touch to mention the Black Rabbit Brotherhood. This DLC made sure to, attach very well to almost everything that was in the future. Once you're at the tram station, make sure to board the tram and proceed to the next area with a cutscene. Beautiful thing when we come out of the tram. We're in Hotel Krat of the past, and there is a little baby kitty. Our little cat is even littler. Adorable. There's a very sad piece of information at the end of the credits on this cat. I will save it for them, but treasure the moment as you have it now.
Hotel Krat. I know, I still can't believe it myself. This must be before the grand opening.
We can see the hotel is very familiar, yet very different. Like Jiminy says, this was before its grand opening. There's also some quality of life improvements here. If you look around, we have the Legion arm, where it was in the future, but also the chair, sort of around where Vanini is in the future. Now that's a nice improvement. Means we won't have to go up the stairs every time we need to level up. We can see there is new inhabitants in the hotel. Some good, some not so good. It is up to us to decide how it goes. It is telling me that I have some secrets around here. But first, let's grab a trophy real quick. We open this box, and inside there are an upgrade cord and a quartz. Upgrade cores change the chair a little bit, and it becomes a new thing, a different section of the P organ, where you can level up your already installed upgrades, if that makes sense. I went for my attack upgrades because I found them to be the most useful, rather than getting more things in the P organ. I went to the upgrade P organ. And I enhanced my charge stagger attack. Now, your P organ might look different. However, whatever you choose, you'll end up getting a trophy beyond limitless potential. That's one of the first trophies we've gotten in the DLC. First one non-boss related, I believe. But we have a lot more to do around the hotel. It's been a progress-packed episode with lots of things that are moving us towards trophies or straight up giving us trophies. Let's explore around, see what the other stations look like, what things are different. Outside here, we still have the 2 dummies to practice your weapons on. Back inside, instead of Eugenie, we have a little place where we can upgrade our weapons and do certain things. Here I repaired both of the grindstones that we had obtained already. In case you want to equip them, you could do this as well. It's not completely necessary in my opinion, and I have already mentioned I find more useful the status inflicting ones rather than the status amplifying ones. Does that make sense? Like, my weapon already has critical, for example. I find them more useful to also inflict burn, so that way I have critical and burn. That's just personally. You can sit around here, soak it all in, and have the kitty come to you. This beautiful cat. You can get a collar for this cat with one of the ancient discs that you have been collected. I saved it for last and it was too late, so don't be like me. It was very sad that I couldn't give it to him. There is a crumpled letter here in a corner. Good piece of lore coming out of this. Let's read it. The letter looks very old. Tear stains are still visible on the paper. My dearest Geppetto. So this was a letter to Geppetto, and it makes sense that it would be here since he lives here. It is my duty to bring you the regrettable news of Camille's death. Reports indicate the job was proceeding as planned when a catastrophic chemical leak occurred, leading to a colossal mortality event. There were no survivors. Due to ongoing toxicity at the site, search and recovery operations have been called off. I cannot describe how much it pains me to deliver this news to you, my friend. Camille shone brightly with the light of genius. All of us, all of Krat, have lost a brilliant star. The Order will provide complete support for the funeral arrangements of Camille and her assistants. Mere currency cannot ever equal the friendship Camille showed us, but we hope you will accept this as a sincere gesture of sympathy for your loss. May trust and friendship between the workshop and the Order never falter. Respectfully, Valentinus Modad, Chief Alchemist of the Isles. Several things with this letter, and all of them important for the expansion of the background lore of the main story. First of all, Camille, it's implied, revealed, assumed. She's the former wife of Geppetto and mother of Carlo. Also, the site that is mentioned here is a site that later on in the game we will get to visit and we will get to inspect in person if what is said here in this letter is true or not. Keep that in mind. And also very important is the note that this letter is very old to the past. Like already in the past, this letter is old. And at the end, it is signed by a Monad person. Monad as in the Monad house. Monad as in Leia Monad. Monad as where Romeo and Carlo grew up as well. Valentinus Monad, and he signs as the chief alchemist of the Isle. So this is the first implication that something happened between the time where Camille died and the present time that we're occupying, which is the past, where power shifted in the alchemist style from Monad to Manus. It is an important note. It could imply as well that Valentinus Modad could be the person that Manus at some point saw as a father figure. I'll elaborate this later when we get more information towards the end of the playthrough on why I think this, because in the main game he mentions that he could hear the thoughts of the people around him. It's like a father figure, I think he mentions that he could hear the thoughts of, and he was so very disappointed in him. So if some sort of power struggle happened, power shift, it could have come from this as well. I think it's a very important letter to pay attention to in the playthrough. It could easily be ignored because the timeline of it is a little confusing. It's the past of the past, but if you dissect it very well, it has a couple of hints as at some of the deeper, furthest in the past things that are revealed only through the DLC. Next, in our exploration of the old Hotelcrat, we have a new character. His name is Lumacchio.
Well, a stalker. Or so I assume, judging by your attire and demeanor. And yet your face is unknown to me. To me? Ridiculous. You're a sweeper, perhaps? But no matter. Ignorant fools say that we are adversaries, but in truth, our relationship is not that hostile. I do so look forward to working with you. Have you something to say? Red hair. Red hair. Could you be speaking of Leia Florence? Why didn't you just say so? If you're looking for the legendary stalker, you should just come out with it. But, if I may ask, what could you possibly want with a living legend? Perhaps you've heard the tale of the Blood Artist. Just one of the monikers of a murderous puppet that targeted only the upper crust of society. It was a dreadful affair. Many a stalker tried to apprehend the Blood Artist, only to die by his blade. But he was no match for one in particular, who took him down on her own. The stalker not only beat the Blood Artist in single combat, but she utterly dismantled him. And she goes by the rather pedestrian name, Leia Florence. Though most everyone just calls her by the loftier moniker, the Legendary Stalker. help her, you say? Yes, she was here. But she took that lift, headed down. Simply said she had something to take care of, but heaven knows what that could be. Perhaps she's gone to slay that poor, crazed lunatic. The one afflicted with the petrification disease. She is the legendary stalker, after all. There's a reason they say only merciful death remains in her wake. Romeo? Never heard of him. Oh, the sidekick. The legendary stalker's young apprentice, I suppose. He could be the reason she's been so, on edge of late. I beg your pardon? What year is it? Are you, under the influence of some strange medication? You may well want to study the provenance of your petrification cure. A word to the wise, don't trust any medicine that an alchemist doesn't hand to you personally. The Monad Charity House. You've heard of the Rose Estate? That's where you'll find your cure. If you're looking for the legendary stalker, she took that lift, went down. Well, don't let me stop you. If you want to talk to her, follow her. Ignorant fools say that we are adversaries, but in truth, I do so look. If you're looking... Well,
he acts friendly enough and he gives us tons of information about both Leah Lawrence and Romeo, her apprentice. He also mentions something very foreboding that will tie into it in the future. Make a mental note of it. That is, make sure you know where your petrification disease cure is coming from. Don't trust anybody unless an alchemist gave it to you themselves. Very ironic phrase. Keep it in mind that these were his first words to you for his continuation of his quest and whatever it might be. For now, he's being nice to us. He's telling us some good information and being a little uppity, but nothing crazy. In the area where the piano is in the future, we find a letter from an old friend, undelivered. The letter gives a faint scent of cherries. To the damned geezer known as the head of the workshop. We're still friends, so I'm writing you in that spirit. The tour finished without trouble. The best part of it was visiting home again. The child also liked his father's hometown best. He'll make an excellent pianist, you know, unless he follows his parents' footsteps and walks a more technical path. Whatever lies ahead, the only thing about which I'm certain, he needs his father. Of course, I hope poor Camille finds peace. We all miss her. Carlo most of all. He needs you, Giuseppe. He's a splendid boy. If he resented you once, he understands now. He wants to be with his father. You can't lock yourself away forever. Please return to your family. A less civilized woman would have wrapped this letter around a cannonball and fired it into the heart of your damnable workshop. But I am civilized and serious. The child awaits you. Please choose wisely with your heart. Sincerely yours, Antonia. And then there is a response as well. My dearest Antonia, I am truly grateful that you continue to care for my son. Please invoice me for all tour expenses incurred and you will be fully compensated. Sincerely, Geppetto, head of the workshop. Now, there is a lot to yap about this letter. First of all, it comes from Antonia. We know Antonia from the base game, and it is important to say that it has officially been debunked now that Antonia is the legendary stalker. There was a rumor on the internet before the DLC came out that Antonia could be based on maybe the age that the memory appeared to be. She could be the legendary stalker, or maybe based on her familiarity with Carlo in the memories, she could be the legendary stalker. However, we know for a fact that she is not. Instead, she continues to be referred to as an old friend from Geppetto, took Carlo to the Monad house and raised him there. At the same time, you get to see a little bit of the grief of Geppetto of having lost already one person and getting all involved in his work. I think this is a beautiful exposition of a theme that was carried through the base game of how deeply he grieved the loss of his wife. An interesting thing about it as well is the mention a little bit of the personality that Carlo had as a child, how he had an aptitude for the piano as well. I think it puts in perspective how Antonia treats us in the base game when she knows that we're a puppet. It's all very interesting and sad at the same time, very heartfelt as well. Moving on, we have one more person to meet here in this new place. It's a new guy called Klaus.
Oh, goodness. A new face appears. How do things fare outside, Master Stalker? Let me introduce myself. I am Klaus, merchant extraordinaire and collector of rare ergo. Indeed, you'll be hard-pressed to find a merchant more skilled than I in the handling of all precious goods. You're lucky to find me in a place such as this. A rather uncouth stalker simply dumped me here and left. The world is crumbling before our eyes, and so are people's manners, it seems. As a merchant, it is quite frustrating being stuck here inside this empty hotel. I beg of you, regale me with news of the city when you can, and perhaps buy something, huh? Collecting is my passion. I especially love watches, but as a merchant, I deal solely in rare artifacts. I recently got my hands on a mysterious set of ancient discs unearthed in the ruins. I was taking them to the Rose Estate for an exclusive showcase, but I lost them all in transit due to the chaos engulfing the city. If it wasn't for my injured back, I'd be out searching for them right now. I say, if you find any of my ancient discs, I will reward you handsomely. Oh, that person, I heard her called the Legendary Stalker. Well, she certainly lives up to the name. When she rescued me at the zoo, she had no trouble hoisting my hefty body and tossing me about without so much as a grunt of effort. She muttered something about searching for her apprentice in a laboratory, but she was so on edge that I pressed no further. Still, I must say, it is not unreasonable to expect better treatment and a friendlier demeanor from your rescuer. Do you mean the leader of the bastards? The man standing over there? My weak heart and spirit prevent me from speaking to such an imposing fellow. I've heard he's quite capable and holds influence over others in many ways. He is conducting important work. But he does frighten me to no end. I'm sure he's a good man, but please don't reveal I spoke ill of him. I'm sorry, you want to know the year? I don't understand the question. You must be referring to the swirling rumors about an era of calamity coming due to the worsening situation with the petrification disease. Let's see, what other news? I hear the opening of the Grand Exhibition will be cancelled. Also, whispered voices say the alchemists lost something. What that might be, though, I cannot say. Besides that, nothing else significant comes to mind. The Rose Estate was my original destination. Many notable people fled there due to the petrification disease. Not to boast, but I am a rather famous merchant. I had received an invitation to the estate, and I was on my way there when I became engulfed by chaos. I should make my way to the estate, but my back pain, oh. I'm glad the Legendary Stalker rescued me, and it was an honor, though I'd wish she'd been gentler. I cannot sit or lie down. Oh, do you know how terribly inconvenient that is? Oh. I cannot believe my eyes. You found one of my discs. I'm touched, truly. Collecting may seem a silly thing to you, but this simple act connects me deeply to the larger world. Just imagine, who were the ancient beings who engraved these discs? Did they worship a god, curse a devil? Or had they endured dark times as we have and sought the solace of an angel? Imagining others reaching the light after a dark night gives me hope this nightmare will end. Now, if you find more discs, I will offer you other valuable rewards in exchange. As a merchant, it is quite frustrating being stuck here inside this empty hotel. I beg of you, regale me with news of the city when you can, and perhaps buy something, huh?
A bit of a funny character, this Klaus, and a bit of a yapper. His back got hurt when Stalker Leia carried him and saved his life. He's the new person, like Alidoro was, or fake Alidoro, where you can get weapons from. Make sure to trade, this is important. Your macabre puppeteers ergo for the Death's Talons with him, which is one of the DLC weapons required for the trophy. He also trades on with discs. He's the reason that we're collecting ancient discs. However, he does not have yet the reward that we need to spend on. He has other things that might be interesting to you, but save one disc for this important record that we need for a trophy. You'll have plenty of time to use the other things. Let's read the clause. The Death's Talons, what they say. Steel claws made by ones known as the child prodigy of the Workshop Union. Cruel blades are hidden within the beautiful exterior. The puppeteer who loved death once dreamed of a weapon that could tear apart and dominate even the opponent's very breath. Her victims learn of her cruelty the moment she reached out her hand. Another interesting thing about Klaus is a little hidden, but in my opinion very curious. If you remember, in the base game there is a reporter who wants to show the world the true things that are happening in Krat. He signs his things as Medoro, Reporter Medoro, and through some deduction, I believe, we get to figure out that Klaus is indeed Reporter Medoro. We have a letter delivered to the garden. Greetings. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. First, I must congratulate you on taking possession of the golden coin tree. As you might have already guessed, this precious and unique tree is a priceless treasure from the age of knights and kings. It has been safeguarded even before the alchemists of the Isles came into existence. But I digress. I suspect history might bore you, so let us proceed directly to business. My conditions are simple. Regularly secure all the gold coin fruit in this carrier. While I would prefer to receive the gold coin fruit myself, I cannot delay any further, as there is someone I must find. If you ever need something, simply place a gold coin fruit into the carrier. One last thing, you are free to open and access all areas, but do not open the doors that lead to the basement. Do not forget that this agreement, established before our transaction, remains non-negotiable. I look forward to our future transactions. G, Master of the Ancient Castle. Little note on someone who we'll be seeing in the second game, I imagine. Jangyo, whatever was his name, later reveal to be real name Paracelsus, and this gold coin fruit tree that allegedly cures the enfeeblement that some of the characters in the base game have. He adds a little note that says Master of the Ancient Castle. Another interesting thing in my opinion is to see that G was present here in the past as well as he was present in the future. Obviously he's saying he's looking for something. Maybe he's looking for Dorothy through time. Maybe he's looking for someone else. But this is clearly an immortal creature in my opinion, given how long it spans and how young he looks in our current time when we get to interact with him. It seems that it was traded with someone from the Black Rabbit Brotherhood, maybe? Anyway, if you use the key that you have in this room, you will get to go in and you'll receive the next outfit. Let's see what it says this time. It is the youngest mask and the permeating death hunting apparel. The youngest mask. The mask worn by the youngest of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood. This mask incorporates the latest design from a fashionable city outside of Krat. Hey, I'm no tailor, so how do you expect me to make hats? And stop removing the filter, idiot, said the eccentric. So the eccentric was making the uniforms for them. That's very cute. And next, we have the hunting ensemble worn by the youngest of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood. It is the clothing of a girl who grew up seeing death as entertainment. The rest of us are lost. We become numb to tyranny, but the youngest is still young. She might have a chance to change, said the battle maniac. An interesting outfit. I thought it was good as well. Probably the only one from the Black Rabbit Hood I like. If you wear this outfit, you will obtain a delivery receipt, and it says the Ergo box has been delivered to the Zelator underground facility. No issues with compensation. P.S. Little brother lost the key again in the underground facility. Scold him, big brother. So now little brother is the one that's losing the keys. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's all about. But of course, this confirms that it was a trade between Giangio and the Black Rabbit to have the tree planted here. Maybe for curing them from something, maybe because they venerated it. I don't think it's outright known. I think maybe several factors played into it. They have made the hotel a little smaller here in the past. You don't get access to 30% of the upper floor, but you also don't need it. As it was mentioned, Leia went down the steps, down an elevator. So that is where we have to proceed if we want to reach her. From now on, anytime that we go back to the hotel, it will probably be this one. This will be our home base in the past. Once downstairs, you'll be in a place of old times, an underground facility, the Zelator. This had a vibe similar to the prison in Demon Souls, I would say. Equally bad. We also get an iron wall amulet out of that. This amulet reduces the damage from falling. It's like the cat ring. No, but for real. Falling offers an equal death to all. However, with the cat's luck, one is able to scuff death. It's a good ring for this area, I'll tell you that much. Did I use it? No, I didn't, but Should I have used it? Absolutely. And should you? Probably. This has a lot of parkour. If you can afford it, if you have the slots, go for it. Also, a really long area. Some of the runbacks are going to make you wish for death. We obtained the Monad's family master key, a key used by the officers of the House Monad. It is essential for gaining access to the alchemist facility. This key of House Monad was only given to those of important position. The key bears a tag with the name of the owner, LF, Leah Florence. More evidence that, you know, she's part of House Monad, or she grew up there with us. Things that we have already deduced from other things, and we're following her steps, so obviously we're finding things behind that she has just left when passing by. I think it's a good place to leave it for today, given that we have learned a lot of things, we have done a lot of things towards the trophy, there's been a lot of yapping, and in the next episode we'll do the whole entire area of the prison, which is pretty big, and it will be a good chunk of an episode as well. I think that will pair well, ending this one on a little bit of a different note than usual. I appreciate you guys for watching this, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you very, very soon. Mwah! Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.